So here's what I want to say. If you almost have a drinking problem, just give me 5 minutes of your time. I just want to talk to you real quick. All right, as a lot of you already know, I've been dealing with alcohol for a long time, right? It started out, you guys already know my story. I started out, I never had an off button, right? You offer me a drink, I'll take your drink. You want to go out and grab a drink, I'll go grab a drink with you. It didn't matter what day of the week it was. Myself and some of my friends were actually that way. I don't know if they still are, but I can only speak for myself. As many of you know, you go to my YouTube videos and check my whole story, but now I'm that, like, I had to discipline myself and reward myself with stepping away from creating some type of discipline for drinking alcohol or beer. So I barely drink alcohol. Unless it's somebody's birthday, I'm taking a shot, special day, I'm on vacation, I may drink alcohol. But typically, I'm drinking beer. And now, what I did was, I chopped down the way that I drink. So for years, I was drinking 5 days a week. I said, for 2 days, I'm not going to drink. I started out with 1 day. I said, you know what, out of these 7 days, one of these days, I'm not going to be drinking any type of alcoholic beverage. 1 day. I did that for a couple years. Then it was that. Then I said, you know what, I'm going to do 2 days. 2 days out of my 7 days, I'm not going to drink any alcoholic beverage. I went to 3 days out of the week. I'm not going to do it. 4 days, I'm not going to do it. 3 days, I'm not going to do it. So now 3 days, I'm doing it. I'm here to tell you today that last night I bought 2 beers and I did not drink any of them. I'm not saying that I'm going down to my 2 days yet, but I will say that there's progress. Now, here's what I wanted to talk to you guys about really quickly. If you almost have a drinking problem, I want to challenge you to this idea, this thought. At some point in your life, you have to realize that a drink is just a drink. A drink is a drink. That's what I want you to realize. A drink is a drink. Let me explain. I'm going to explain this to you. Again, this is if you almost have a drinking problem. Now, somebody, they say, well, dang, you drinking Pepsi. Listen, what did I say? I say the one message I want you to understand right now is a drink is a drink. This is for the people who almost have a drinking problem. Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, so here's the deal. Remember what I said. A drink is a drink. When you're going through a battle with alcohol, you don't realize that. You believe that a drink, the only drink out there is your alcoholic beverage that can give you a feeling is an alcoholic beverage. But what I'm here to tell you is that every drink, remember, a drink is a drink. So from my perspective, in my opinion, a drink is a drink, right? And a drink, every drink gives you a feeling, right? Sometimes when you drink water, you get a feeling when you drink water. You do get a feeling, because when you're drinking alcohol, you only say, well, I got to drink alcohol because it gives me this feeling, right? But what I'm here to tell you is that, like Pepsi, for example, there's certain times where I reward myself and I drink a Pepsi. Many people give me backlash for drinking this Pepsi, but it can't stop the feeling that this Pepsi, it gives me a feeling that my favorite beer cannot give me. And when you almost have a drinking problem, you don't realize that. I'm telling you this from years of progress through dealing with this, like balancing this out. Right? And it's been about, I've been doing only drinking 3 days a week for about 1.5 years now. Right? And then before then, I was at, 4 days a week. And probably in the next year, I'm going to be down to 2 days. And I think I'll probably balance it out with just like 2 days out of the week. But who knows what God has in store for me. The point I want to share with all of you who may have a problem drinking is that a drink is a drink. And you may say, well, I don't like buying that expensive drink at the grocery store that's right next to the beer because it's $5. I'm not paying $5 for no apple juice. But what I'm trying to tell you is that same feel, you'll buy, listen, you will buy a $5 alcoholic beverage, but you will battle buying a $5 bottle of apple juice. And it's in my perspective, from my experience, it's simply because you don't see the value in the feeling. You're not recognizing that a drink is just a drink. Know my story. Find my story. It's on YouTube. I could have almost been an alcoholic, right? But it was the grace of God that gave me a different perspective. Remember, change your mind, you can change your whole life, right? There's still people who know me when I used to have no off button that have no idea, that they think that they're probably unsure because I didn't have any off button. But I realized something went off in my head, and I realized that a drink is a drink. I used to battle with buying a $5 bottle of apple juice. I still battle with that, right? You may have a battle, oh, I'm not going to go to Starbucks and spend no $5 on a Starbucks. But listen, replacement and substitution is key when you're trying to get away from that which you know is holding you back. You see what I'm trying to tell you? So if you have a choice between drinking a Pepsi and a pint of Hennessy, I'd rather you have the Pepsi. Right? And it's not good for you. I'm not promoting Pepsi. I'm saying this is bad for you, but it gives you a different feeling. Sometimes the feeling of your alcoholic beverage stops you from getting things done. You see what I'm saying? A Pepsi, it could kill you, but it's not going to stop you from getting things done, right? That bottle of apple juice that costs $5 that you're battling with buying, and you rather buy an alcoholic beverage because you don't see the value and the feeling that that apple juice is going to give you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. A drink is a drink. Consider that the next time you go to the store. And I'm telling you, my last thing, and I'm going to get up out of here. If you almost have a drinking problem, I'm not telling you to go cold turkey, because cold turkey is not something that works for everybody. And I know you're supposed to do it, but I'm not no counselor, I'm not no therapist. I'm just telling you from my personal experience. Cold turkey didn't work for me. What worked for me is chopping it down. You see what I'm saying? You got to chop it down. I started 7 days, I had no off button. You give me an alcoholic beverage, I'm going to drink it. That was 7, 8 years ago. But then I said, you know what? I have to get disciplined with this thing. Let me get disciplined. Cold turkey doesn't work. We've all had those times where we have a bad night, we drank too many drinks, and then the next morning we wake up, we say, oh, I'm not drinking no. I did that a million times, right? But what worked for me is chopping it down. Like, all right, one day. If you have no off button, say one day. On this day, pick a day, whatever day works best for you. On this day, I'm not going to drink no alcoholic beverage. That's it. A week or 2 weeks of that commitment, and you say one day, I'm not going to do it no more. To do that for a year, I know they're going to tell you to speed up the process. All your loved ones, friends, therapists, and counselors, they're going to tell you to speed up that process. But I'm just telling you what worked for me. What worked for me, as I had to do one day, I had to master that one day of not drinking any alcohol for like a year. Right? And then I went to 2 days. I did that for like a year. And then I did for 3 days. That was like for 2 years. Now I went to 4 days, and that's been for like, you see what I'm trying to tell you? Discipline yourself. If you can't go cold turkey, you tried to go cold turkey, realize a drink is a drink. And on that day that you take off, drink whatever the hell you want. Bad or whatever. Just make sure it gives you a different feeling. Because remember, all a drink is doing, it gives you a feeling. 90% of the time I'm drinking water, right? I'm drinking water. That gives me a feeling. When you drink water, it gives you a feeling. When you drink apple juice, it gives you a feeling. When you drink orange juice, it gives you a feeling. When you drink a smoothie, it gives you a feeling. When you drink Pepsi, it gives you a feeling. You see what I'm trying to tell you? A beer gives you a feeling. Taking a shot, it gives you a feeling. It's just a feeling. A drink is a drink is a drink. This your boy Billionaire Brown. Check me out on my YouTube channel. I got some great stuff at the billionairebrownonline.com. This is my story. I'm sticking to it. And y'all real lucky I'm not a motivational speaker, because if I was, I wouldn't even tell you half the stuff I tell you. Peace. Hey, Ma! I'm on TV!